The Markets and Commissioning Process for Moving Image Fiction Scripts by Jakub Peckel. We're going to talk about markets for moving image fiction scripts, and we're going to talk about commissioning process for the same kind of scripts. And maybe let me start from definition of markets for scripts. A script market is the system in which a screenwriter and producer engage in buying and selling of a script from the film for the film and television industries. And I'm going to tell you as well about what kind of markets for moving image fiction scripts we have in Ireland at the moment. And those are agents, film companies, television companies, independent production companies, and last thing is competitions. So let's start from agents. So, for example, you could be your own agent, but to be successful, you may not have all needed contacts. So the agents, it's source of contacts. And agents, the other thing is agents know what kind of scripts are sought at the moment, so what the market needs basically. And agents, the same as you, want your script to be successful, because they usually take roughly 10% from sold idea. And agents in Ireland at the moment are Lisa Richards and McFarlane Chard Dadae. The second type of the market is film companies, where now I'm talking about the really big corporacies like 20th Century Fox, MGM, Paramount, and Universal. They large so they can produce own movies. They buy scripts without revision, so they can later on adapt scripts to suit needs. And the other thing, which is actually typical for corporacies, they buy scripts similar to movies they are making to avoid them being made. Make sure that no one gonna make the same film. And the other market is television companies like RTE, like TV3, like BBC, like UTV, and TG4. And they commission scripts to be made by independent production companies. And some of the televisions, they accept only online submissions, and some of them, for example, accept only scripts from agents. And the other market is independent production companies. So those are small companies producing for bigger companies like, for example, RTE or BBC. And most of them will accept only scripts from agents. And examples of independent production companies in Ireland are Vision Independent Production, Tyrone Production, Element Pictures, and Sideline Productions. And finally, the last market is competitions. They usually happen every year. So competitions have some kind of examples So there are Young Irish Filmmaker Competition, Script, Ireland's Playwright Festival, and Nicholl Fellowship in Scriptwriting. Now I'm gonna talk about the process of commissioning for moving image scripts. And process, the process I'm gonna tell about roles within the commissioning process. And first of all, I'm going to talk about producers. They are the main players in the television and film industries, and they oversee each project through from conception to completion, and they can also be involved with the marketing and distributing process. However, this is not always the case. Another role of producer is to work closely with director and other production crew member whilst shooting. So this is quite important role. The second is director. The director is responsible for the interpretation of stage, film or television production. Because of this, they supervise the acting, staging and lighting that is required to realize the writer's conception. The other role within this process is script editor. The script editor works as a part of the camera department to ensure that the production has continuous verbal and visual integrity. They are also responsible for checking for continuity errors in final cuts of scenes. And the very last role I want to talk about is commissioning editors. Commission editors aim to build up a publisher's list. They do this by identifying books or media production to publish. The way they commission work is by finding authors of or responding to book proposals. Their role is similar to that of a buyer. They also ensure authors deliver typescripts to specification and on the time due to them constantly being given scripts, and they also see which scripts are worthy of being commissioned. And conclusions finally. So as you can see, there are many ways for script to be commissioned, but usually process is quite long. So the best way for your script to be commissioned, you have to just write and try many different ways. Thank you.